Hi guys, I'm Tatiana and my YouTube channel is about playing the bass. In August 2024, on the 8th month of actual work on it, I managed to monetize my YouTube channel, although many people think that it's incredibly hard to do if you're a musician. I don't think it's that hard, and now I'm going to show you how it worked for me. I will also share with you how it is going right now, a few months after I turned my monetization on, and what income streams that are linked to my YouTube channel I use. There will also be a few tips how I could do it better and faster, but I didn't know them when I started. Let's go! I've been having this channel for personal stuff for a long time, since 2010, and I've had nearly 0 subscribers, and I didn't care about it at all because I didn't have a goal to do anything with this channel. I played the bass offline a lot in different bands, but I didn't aim to go online. When I was moving to New Zealand in 2018, I had to sell all my dearest collection of basses because I couldn't take them with me, it would be too expensive. We just had a couple of suitcases and a kit, and we flew to the other side of the world. That was one of the several times in my life when I tried to convince myself that I needed to focus on something else and I needed to stop playing the bass. However, I really wanted a bass, and finally I bought one. That was a pretty cheap bass with short scale and 22 frets, which I loved because I could play solos in high positions, and I still have it. It's the only bass I have. It's a good bass and I can play almost anything on it except for maybe slap because it just doesn't sound right. I didn't have a band and soon COVID happened. I decided to develop myself as a solo bassist and I needed some audience for that. So in February 2020 I published the first purposeful video on this channel, and that was In the Sentimental Mood by Duke Ellington. And I decided to start developing this channel. I wasn't sure how to do it and I didn't have any strategy, so I just played what I thought was cool and I just had fun. Very often I just took a song and played the vocal melody on the bass, substituting the singer. I made what I called multi-bass videos when I was splitting the screen into 3 or 4 sections, and I played in every little window the same bass but different roles of it, making up a full arrangement and using just the same instrument for that. I even sang sometimes, although I had never been trained as a singer. I liked messing around with all of it, and I published videos approximately once a fortnight. However, in about 2 years, my channel got only 300 subscribers or something like that. I didn't think about monetization, I just didn't have that idea in my mind, and I couldn't actually say why I wanted to develop my channel, so I made some actions, but I didn't have a certain goal. Then in 2022 I started working as a music teacher at school, and I was so overwhelmed that I almost completely gave up on this channel. In about 2 years, I completely burnt up. I didn't want to stay a music teacher at school anymore. And I started thinking about YouTube more seriously, and I started learning how other people did it. Monetization now looked like a very nice idea to me. For that, I needed to grow my audience. I needed to have at least 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 of watch hours. I started questioning my previous actions, and I realized that things that I had published before were interesting to me, mostly, only, and that's all. But if I wanted to be closer to real people, I needed to publish something that was interesting to both sides, to them and to me. Next, I needed to produce my content consistently and learn about how the algorithm worked. It was late December 2023 when I started doing something with this channel thoughtfully and consciously, while I still didn't know much about how it all worked. I decided to publish one video per week, and they were what I called play videos, so I played and I didn't talk. I started choosing more popular songs and adding tabs. And I started researching who those people who liked my video were, and slowly my channel started creeping upward. Very soon I realized that people who watched my video were mostly bass players, and they watched them for fun and for some learning. Most of them didn't have proper music education, and they often struggled with things that looked kind of easy to me. And I decided to turn my content into the side of education, which I was familiar with while teaching at school. I started playing mostly bass lines instead of just soloing, which I did before, and the bass lines in popular songs were more in demand among bass players. And one more thing, I needed to start talking, and that was hard. I was overthinking it a lot. But after I made 1, 2, 3 videos just to try talking on camera, I realized that I received actually a lot of support and people were actually engaged. People discussed the topics with me, not my accent, and they asked questions and they were really nice. A couple of times I got a few unpleasant comments about what and how I was doing, but I think such things are just inevitable and you cannot avoid them and they just happen sometimes. And if they're not systematic, it's good. It even turned out that people preferred my lessons, my talking videos, more than my play videos. In March 2024, last year, I started posting 2 videos per week. They were mostly play videos, because I just had this content and I could use it, but I started including talking videos as well. I also started gradually learning about CEO parameters on YouTube, and I started using vidIQ in a free version. I still use it and it's a great tool, I really think so, and they didn't pay me for this advertisement right now. With my talking videos, getting to understand a bit of CEO and the consistency of publishing, getting 1,000 subscribers wasn't that hard, and I got them in May 2024. So about 700 new people subscribed in just 5 months compared to 300 in several years. That was great. However, getting the watch hours was a harder task. Play videos usually don't give you a lot of it because they are mostly short, 3-5 minutes in average, and most of viewers don't watch the full length of them. I decided to experiment and try to use the short videos, which are filmed vertically, and their length is about from 30 seconds to a minute, and they are even shorter, but usually they're very popular on different platforms, including YouTube, and they get so many views that you can get a lot of watch hours with them. I decided to have a kind of a little marathon with them and publish one short video daily, and I did it mostly in May and June. That helped me grow the number of my subscribers and watch hours, but after that I realized that doing that was a mistake. There were several reasons for that. First, shorts were great for entertainment, but actually not so much for education, where people should focus on the subject. Second, my audience were mostly mature people, while shorts are especially popular for teenagers and young adults. And third, those 4,000 of watch hours that I wanted to get couldn't include short videos. They included only the full-scale, horizontal, normal kind of videos, and I just wasted my time trying to get it through the shorts. So I gave up on shorts and focused on the usual long-form videos. In June 2024, I calculated that with the same dynamics and strategy, I would hit my goal by the end of 2024 year, the same year. However, in July 2024, one of my talking videos, one of my lessons, suddenly went viral. That was the one about playing walking basslines. I really didn't know that that topic would be so interesting for people, and maybe that was a good combination of a successful thumbnail and a title and SEO parameters, and maybe I managed to get a good retention so that people watched longer than usual time without switching to the other videos. All of that is really important for the algorithm. The video shot up and brought me many subscribers and a lot of watch hours. By this very moment, it received almost 72k views and 3k watch hours and about 1700 people subscribed. That's incredible! That was the most successful video I've ever made. So, I got monetized soon after that one, in August. Maybe it happened just because of luckiness that I got that very successful video, but honestly, I don't think that was only that, and even if I didn't have that video, I would probably get monetized anyway, but later, the same year. Now, what life after monetization looks like? To get paid, a YouTube owner needs to earn at least 100 USD or 130 NZD, New Zealand dollars. I live in New Zealand. This is a kind of a threshold, a minimal amount. Payments are processed monthly, and if you didn't earn the minimal amount this month, you have a chance to add to it next month, and you will get paid eventually when you get the minimal amount or more. The money comes to you next month, so if you earned enough in February, you get paid in March. The fact is, I haven't been paid for 2 months in a row yet. I got my first payment in October, then in December, in February, and if I'm lucky enough, I will get the next one in April. Maybe not. For the whole period of almost 7 months, the views brought me about 430 USD. It's not bad, but I wouldn't say it's enough, and it definitely doesn't let me leave my daily job and focus only on making content on YouTube. I still juggle and try to balance different things. There is a potential to grow, though. Now about the other streams of income that are linked to YouTube. If your channel is below 10k subscribers, it's categorized as a small one. After that, you have a medium one, and I don't remember how many subscribers you need to get to be considered as a big channel. I still have a small one. However, even small channels can be really good financially for their owners if the other income streams are connected to them and they work well. For example, if a person sells a course or a really cool book or is luckily affiliated with a popular brand or selling a good merch successfully or anything like that. I got affiliated with a nice platform called Tomplay, and I've made a few videos showcasing their resources. I really like that they have, and I do believe that they can be really helpful for many musicians, including those who watch my videos. However, those videos didn't get a lot of views, and all that marketing brought me only about 30 USD at all. I think I could be much more successful talking about basses and bass equipment, but that affiliation still awaits me in the future. Another source of possible income is selling parts and scores. I do it via 2 different platforms, ArrangeMe and Kit. ArrangeMe is great for copyrighted materials. They send the most money to the copyright owner, and I get just a small percentage. So for one PDF file that people buy for something like 6 or 7 USD, I get just 60 cents or something like that, and financially it doesn't make much sense. The kit, which was a convert kit recently and was renamed, is fantastic for selling materials that aren't copyrighted. For example, old jazz or classical music arrangements. Right now, kit brings me about from 50 to 100 New Zealand dollars a month. One more source is Patreon. They help create a very nice and close community, although they have both pros and cons. They take commission, and if you have a Patreon account as a creator, you have a moral obligation to be consistent with it, because they are real people who are interested and who support you. You can't just abandon them for any reason. Right now, my Patreon community is mighty and amazing, but of a very humble size. I haven't withdrawn anything from Patreon yet, but I will probably do it soon. Another source of income could be selling a course, and I'm actually working on one. I'm at halfway at the moment. However, it's not a simple task, it's very time-consuming, and I'm not even sure when exactly I will be able to finish that course, because I work full-time and I study full-time, and I have a YouTube channel, and I have a family, and I have a social life, and I I try to balance all this stuff, and it's pretty difficult. This is what I would consider as mistakes on my not very long but pretty intense YouTube journey. Number one is probably doing things before exploring them well. If you have an opportunity to make a little research before doing things and wasting a lot of time on the wrong ways, it would be much better. For example, I spent a lot of time focusing on shorts instead of something that would be much more helpful to my channel. I wouldn't recommend you focus on making shorts if you are not making just entertaining content. Second, exploring SEO too slowly. First, I just ignored it, and when I started doing something about it, my channel started growing. And number three is not understanding who those people who watch your videos are. When I started thinking about my audience, it all became much better. So I would say that understanding the audience and who they are goes first. When I conducted survey, read comments carefully, and made notes for myself from the basis discussions on Facebook groups, it helped me figure out who those people actually were and what they needed. And when I started implementing that knowledge into my practice, my channel grew. And one more lesson from YouTube. On YouTube, when you give people what they want in a way that is understandable enough for them, you can stop worrying about many things. It doesn't matter what you wear, how old you are, what accent you speak with. People don't care about those things until they still can understand you and they get what they came for. I realized that my content serves people. It's not about what I look like or anything like that. And I would say life is much easier and better with this understanding. As you can see, I'm still on the way, and this way is kind of challenging, but I still enjoy making videos on YouTube. I hope my channel will grow, and maybe I will start getting money for views every month and even get called a medium channel. I would like to make it a goal for this year, and we will see how it goes. If you are having your YouTube channel, you can consider my experience and implement these simple and not so simple things into your practice. Thank you for watching. Come back for the best guitar videos. Bye!